It was donut day yesterday. And I am, or not. I guess I won't commit like that, but I did. There is one on Amazon that I am heavily stalking right now, and I'm trying to see if my commercial equipment vendors have one, maybe for a little less expensive. I want one. I think it'd be fun to have. So we'll see. Yesterday was National Donut Day, though. Oh, well, Ron should come to the meeting today.
Ron should be the lifestyle manager.
Yeah.
It sure is.
There we go. Okay, so let's kind of dive into today. So Paul's going to start off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need the next slide.
Oh.
They're drawings at the end.
Oh, I thought you were just do intros now.
No, we're going to do it when I get
Oh, okay, sorry, never mind. I'll go back to me.
Clearly, we don't rehearse this. All right, Monster Mash. So, event review. We had our member Halloween party on Saturday. It was so much fun. The picture in the middle was there was a group of members who secretly learned the Thriller dance. Oh, and then did a flash mob. And so it was so fun. And Marty.
So decorated. Like, I mean, every member went.
Every member.
All out.
To the nines. Everyone dressed up. It was so fun to see
Face
everyone.
paint color, hairspray colors.
There was one member who scared the bejesus out of me several times. He had come down to the lodge early with like a secret thing for the concierge so they would know who he was when he got here. And he had his face covered, and then he had, I should put that picture in here. He had these like light up red eyes. And so he was kind of hiding in flow, and the lights were off. And so at one point I was going from Two Tides to the office, and all of a sudden I just see this guy come creeping around the corner.
Did he like tilt his head?
And he tilts his head and like, oh my gosh, it was so creepy. Jason thought it was hysterical because he knew he was there.
But he was just like walking around in the garden out back there.
Yes, and at one point in our office, we have a window, and it's all, shrubs, etc. And so at one point, I hear this like knock on the window, and I turn, and he's just like looking at me through the window. Oh my gosh!
It was creepy. It was creepy.
It was creepy. Yeah. So welcome to the community.
Yeah.
Lots of, creepy. But it was a super great night. Everyone dressed up. We had lots of decorations, great food. And it was just nice to see so many people turn out.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a really nice event. Pictures was great. Everyone got in, took photos, and we did a little different setup in Two Tides, and it was a lot of fun. We had 105, something like that. So it was nice. Really nice. Nice balloon. If you're ever interested, there's a local, like in Tahale, balloon artist. And they did this balloon installation for us. Yeah. And they did a kick butt job. So
so they installed that. And then I repurposed it the next day for our Halloween station. So I just cut it down and then put it on our pop-up tent, and it was really cool because everyone who came to the treating took pictures with it, and it was really neat. And I was like, don't expect this next year, but get all the pictures this year. Which
also reminds us, thank you to the bakers for their donation of the decorations that they provided for Halloween, which is really awesome. The inflatable one was like 8 feet by like 6 feet wide. Like it was a huge 9 feet tall, maybe. It was a gigantic. Of course, if you know the bakers, it's Disney themed, but it worked out really well for the trick-or-treaters. So thank you to the bakers for donating that. And special guest today,
new team member Catherine. Before Catherine kind of jumps into a little background about herself and what she's going to be doing here, I'd love it if we could all just introduce ourselves really quickly, because this is a lot of key players who come every Saturday, and so just part of welcoming her to the community. Linda, would you like to start?
Sure. Linda Keyes, and I live in Mount Hood, and my husband's name is Jack, and he is the local bowl turner.
He's an amazing woodworker.
He is, yeah. It's really impressive.
Nice to meet you, Linda.
Kevin Shields, living in the papers, down the road.
Nice to meet you, Kevin.
I'm Ginger.
Nice to meet you, Ginger.
Sue Watkins.
Nice to meet you, Sue.
Oh, sorry.
Neil, hi.
I'm Lon Kyle.
Nice to meet you, Lauren.
And I'm Ann. That's married to him.
Mary Greenwood, and I'm in St. Helens.
Perfect. And the couple walking in is the Bernthals over there. So,
And Stu.
well, Catherine's going to be our new wine steward, and she'll talk a little bit about herself real fast. But really, her goals are going to be really exploding our wine program that's had extremely successful right now. And so we're obviously bursting at the seams with reservations and such. And so she is going to help provide the support that we need to really devote the attention it deserves. And so she's going to be really focusing in on next year on expanding the amount of opportunities throughout the month, expanding whether it be educational seminars or off-site events or just new wines in the restaurant, new wine opportunities, and really just expanding everything that we're able to do. So, Catherine, why don't you give us a little background history on yourself?
Sure. Hello. Nice to meet you all. I love wine. I think it's a given.
I hope so.
On a serious note, I have been studying wine for the past 5 years. Basically, ever since I turned 21, I'm like wine industry, studying wine. I've worked at Total Wine and More. Last 2.5 years worked at Tacoma Wine Merchants, which is a small family-owned wine shop and wine bar. My goal is to, like just what Jason said, like to really help expand the wine program and to have more opportunities and events for you all, because I know how much you all love wine, which is so exciting. I have traveled to many different countries. I've been to 20 countries and have been to experience wine through travel as well. And it's just a huge passion of mine. I really think wine is, I was just telling this to Mary, but I really think wine is life. I think that there's so much soul and passion that goes into making one bottle of wine, and I really, really, really love that, and I want to share my passions with you all. So I'm really excited to help offer some new events, and if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'm excited to get to know everyone here. So
And we're so excited to have her. So excited.
Catherine will be just here for a couple days a week for the next few weeks as she finishes up at the Tacoma Wine Merchants, but probably after Thanksgiving you'll see her a lot more, and she's going to be preparing 2022 renewals for Barrel Masters real soon, and we're heading all off-site today to go plan the events for next year, so she's going to participate in that. So look forward to her emails over the coming weeks as she's getting settled. Should be pretty good.
which day? Sangria Day.
Sangria Day, okay.
After that.
It's
December
Sangria
21st.
Day in December. That's an interesting one. Okay. We'll have to dust off our fall sangria. It's been a while.
We do cranberry.
Christopher makes a really good fall sangria. Homemade syrups he puts in it. It's pretty delicious. One Day University.
These are a lot of long ones that I put in here. So One Day University this week, on November 10th, we have World War I and the Lost Battalion, the big story of the biggest battle in U.S. history. Say that 5 times fast. And then on November 11th, we have Gene Editing, the Science and Ethics of the World's Most Controversial Technology.
Those are very interesting topics these days.
Yes, Neil.
Where are these classes located? Maybe located here.
Yeah, good question. So the question was, where can we find the One Day University classes? So on MTL, each one is an event on MTL. So when you go on the calendar, you can just search for One Day University, and it will pop up with the day. And then if you click on it, there's a link in the description that will take you to the live stream. So they're at 1 o'clock on the scheduled day, and then it's professors from all over the country, so it's all virtual. But you just click on the link, and then it takes you to the broadcast. Correct.
In the comforts of your home. We're going to do some on site next year, but we're working on location and how to get this TV to work with that and all that. So,
my understanding is that if you miss the one on the 10th, you have until the next one comes up. But in this case,
Yeah, so you better watch it quick.
there's
Yeah.
no way out of the library.
I have successfully requested recordings when members have asked me for them. So if there's one that you missed, you can always email me. They don't always record them and release them. I think it depends on the professor and kind of their parameters, but it's always worth asking me if there's one that you missed. I'm always happy to email one university and see if I can get it.
member-led clubs this week, next
Look at
week.
that hike. That was when Todd took some members up to Camp Muir. It was a big one. And Kevin went.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Kevin went.
What mountain is this in the background?
Is that Baker?
That's cool.
It's beautiful. So this week there's lots of member-led clubs, but just to highlight a few, we have Better Red Than Dead meeting November 9th at 2 p.m. in Four Suits. Water Babes and Dudes, naturally in the pool, on November 10th at 3, and then Stitchin' Time on November 11th at 1:30 in Four Suits.
We can do water babes and do outside. It's starting to rain right now. So
Yeah, good.
that'd be fun. We'll see if that group really wants to move to outdoors. I don't know if that would be a big selling point, but we'll see. And like we did talk about, we did hire a new water aerobics instructor. So she just came back off vacation. So we're going to get her all through the system here next week and have her going here pretty quick. So where's my cursor? There it is. Upcoming events.
Upcoming events. On November 10th, we have Happier Hour. On the 11th, we have Grapes and Grub. There's also an HOA meeting that day, so please register if you plan on attending that. November 14th, there is the Hawks Watch Party in Hawks Nest. 16th, we have Cooking University. We're also opening up a second day for this because the wait list was quite long, so we're going to open one up on the 17th. And also on the 17th, I'm taking members to Tacoma. We're going to go to the Tacoma Glass Museum, which has a beautiful Chihuly exhibit, lots of beautiful glass. And then we are going to do lunch on our own in Tacoma. There's a lot of great bistros, restaurants right around that area, right in the museum district. And then we are going to be taking a private tour led by a tour company of some cool spots in Tacoma that will end us at McMinimans, where we will get, I think it's 4 pours. Okay, 3. Thank you.
I get 6.
There you go. Plus 3. So there you go. Your day just gets better and better. So 3 tastings from McMinimans, and it's the old Elks Lodge
Temple.
Yeah, so that would be pretty cool. I'm excited. I haven't been there yet, so I'm excited for that.
A couple things to note about these upcoming events. 3 of these events, Grapes and Grub, Cooking University, and SSL Sightseers, all had wait lists, which was awesome, and all were accommodated. So Grapes and Grub had 5 on the wait list last night. We opened it up for those 5 last night, which is great. Cooking University had so many on a wait list that we added another day, and SSL Sightseers had
Over like 15 people.
on a wait list, so we added those as well. So we're just to keep reminding everyone, always use that wait list function. We're always watching it, so keep using that. It's really good.
And we do, just a little caveat to that, there's some things that we can expand, and then other things where we're kind of restricted. Cooking University, we only have so many stations we can build, so we do our best to expand. But it's always worth the wait list because we do actively watch that and try and make the magic happen.
Can anybody tell me what event this picture is from? This would be Car Hop. We did a Car
It's
Hop
National Hamburger Day.
in August.
National Hamburger Day was the first one we did. I think it was May.
Oh, first one, okay. So, but this is what car hop looks like. If you hear about car hop's where it's a big picnic and party in the parking lot, pretty much. So that is this is the kickoff for the car hops this year, past year. New yoga classes.
Great,
Yeah.
I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, you just keep going.
We hired.
Hey, there's no GM update today, so I don't have to talk so much. So.
It's the Paula show today. Everyone, welcome. Thank you for coming. So we hired a new yoga instructor named Marissa. We're so excited to have her. She's going to be bringing back our beginner yoga class, which will be Wednesdays at 8 a.m. And then creative power yoga, which will be Wednesdays at 9 a.m. I've heard some feedback about timing of classes. And so I just want to touch on that really quickly. I love member feedback because we want to know what times are good for you, but also remembering that we have to work with the instructors themselves too, because a lot of times they work
Other places.
other studios, and so we're kind of restricted there. But we're so excited about her. She has some great ideas for some workshops for next year. I think she's going to be a great asset to the fitness team.
Gate to gate. Oh, I was going to wear my shirt today. Oh, wait, I don't have a shirt yet. That wasn't intentional enough.
It wasn't?
No.
That's nice.
Maybe. Yeah, don't forget to track your steps right now. Remember, you can set your phones. Most of them have pedometers on them nowadays. Any type of Apple Watches, Fitbits, any type of heart rate monitor situations. We also have some of them for sale as well. If you're interested, I have one of them on right now. So make sure to track your steps. Great question was, hey, what if I'm just doing workout or exercises of some sort? Does that count as steps? Yes,
Sure
it does. And Kevin, where are those located?
We're in the gym right on the next page.
That's right. So if you're looking for the conversion chart on how much half hour of swimming does for you, steps-wise, there's a little conversion pamphlet slip on the counter in base camp that you can more than welcome to grab and take home and use that to convert. So we make sure that we're getting a ton of steps. Keep in mind there are 3 different levels for everyone to register at. But the real ultimate goal for us is the team goal is one big club and trying to accumulate. So even if you only walk 1,000 steps over the next 4 weeks, it's going to really help us in our team goal to accomplish what we can do. So
It's 1,000 more steps than we would have had without you.
or 1,000 less I have to walk. Maybe that's
True.
But this was a great kickoff event we did on Tuesday. Great turnout for that to really get the event started.
And thank you
This
to
past
Kevin
week.
for taking the lead of the walk. That was awesome. Thank you, Kevin.
I know some members have been really big into it. Barry Rollison the other day, he wanted to get a certain amount of steps, so he drove it first, his route, and then he walked it to make sure that he got credit for it. So it was pretty cool to see that.
And one reminder,
He's our big marathon, or used to be our big marathon runner, so he's
done,
pretty intense.
I learned this about him the other day. He's done, I think, over 35 marathons,
Yeah.
including one in Copenhagen, I believe.
Yeah, his wife was a flight attendant, so when she would travel on her trips, he would tag along, do a race the next day, and then fly back with her. So kind of real cute story with the two of them. But so he would always just be flying. He was a pilot too, but he always kind of traveled with her to stay together and just did the races at the same time. So
And
fun little story.
With tracking your steps, there's a link on MTL on a news post. You don't track your steps through MTL. It's a separate website. So when you registered for it, you should have created a unique username and password, which if you forget, email me and I can reach out to our central services team to retrieve that for you. I don't have access to the system directly because it's a national program that everyone participates in. But don't forget to log your steps by Monday at noon for the previous week for us all to be entered into the weekly competitions. Yes, Ginger?
It's 11 Mountain Time, so it's 11 our time.
Yes, thank you. So 11 our time. Yes, 11 our time. Thank you, Ginger. Yes, it's MST, Mountain Standard Time. See, teamwork.
Just a silly little thing. We've been doing gate to gate for the last 3 or 4 years. For some weird reason, only about a week ago, I noticed that the actual gate to gate logo has feet on it. I always just thought it was kind of like marble coloring that we kind of put on the A's. But like last week, I was like, oh my God, those are feet. I didn't even realize people were walking in that picture. Whatever. Silly me. How much I pay attention to that just is ridiculous. You ever see that where you just get some of those brands and then all of a sudden it just kind of clicks? You know, one I had recently was Tostitos. They're really, the two T's are people like cheersing themselves. Yeah. Look at that. They're like got a dip. They're like cheers.
That's cute.
Yeah. Next week we're gonna do a whole skit on branding. That's what we're gonna do.
Next week for the summer live, maybe we'll have samples.
You kind of just go, oh, duh, I didn't even realize that. Anyways,
It makes sense.
back to the lodge, I guess. New Year's Eve.
It's posted. There's 157 people signed up so far.
In less than 12
24
hours.
hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, really awesome event. We're going to do the evening at Monte Carlo here at the club, whole facility wide. We put up how many spots, right? 200 right now?
200.
We will easily can grow to about 350, 400. So we're just kind of put the 200 number on it for right now. So, but we'll expand that. Starting at 9 o'clock. Keep in mind, that is 9 o'clock sharp. That is not 8:30, 8:45, 8:50, 8:55. And if I'll remind everyone that if you were early, like you were last year, you had to stand out there in the rain because we really mean 9 o'clock. We need every last minute we need to make sure all the details are done and dialed in for you. So please make sure show up right at 9, prompt at 9. But going to be a lot of fun. We've got a bunch of different food stations. Catherine's going to have a wine station. We'll have a beer station, cocktails going on.
Straight past champagne at midnight.
Straight past champagne.
We have a DJ, photo booth. Trina, who's our catering coordinator, amazingly creative. I'm so excited she's on the team. She's working on some really fun decor for it to really bring in that casino theme. And this year we're going to do wristbands. So wristbands will be available for those registered the week of the event to help with the check-in process so that when it is 9 o'clock on the dot, all you have to do is show us your wristband and that shows us that you've registered, and then we can quickly get people in.
Coats and in. Yep.
And then get your coat checked, and we'll of course have a station for if you whoopsie forget your wristband or it falls off before the event to get you checked in a separate area. But really tried to focus on getting people in quickly for this since it is a larger event.
Questions about New Year's? That's fun. 155 people already.
Are you requiring vaccination?
We're not. We're not requiring vaccinations for it. It is not required of us as the county. So until they make that change, we will be not requiring that this time. So
masks are.
but masks are going to be required. Yep. Masks will still be required. Good question. Any other questions? No? Okay, we'll move on. Member survey. So 2 more days left to fill out the member survey. If you have not done so, if you log into MTL, it's the blue banner right on top right now. You can fill that, click the link to fill that out. Closes tomorrow. So make sure to log in, provide your feedback. Like I keep saying every week, constructive feedback. It doesn't have to always be positive, but it has to be constructive. There's been definitely some language that's been on the survey comments that I've read so far that's inappropriate. So making sure that it is constructive. Doesn't have to be positive, just has to be constructive, right? Because we do read it, I do read it, and we would typically, department heads read it as well, and they get involved with the process as well. So it has to be constructive. We don't know who writes the surveys, but we do read them. We use it in our planning process for the following year. So it is important that you fill those surveys out, but just make sure, like I said, it's constructive comments.
So if we've already submitted our survey and then you think of other comments, can you resubmit the survey?
I think it only lets you submit it once, but if you think of additional feedback, we're always happy to hear it. I don't know if there's a way to access it.
I think you just do another one. I haven't seen that there in a while.
I would have to
I
check.
don't know where that went, actually. That's a good question.
That might have gotten.
You can just
removed
refill
for a
out the
little bit.
survey. So.
But yeah, you can resubmit it. Or if Jack hasn't done his, you could do it under Jack. Yeah.
Any other questions about the survey though? 24 hours left to fill that out. So
And I can say
make
we
sure that
really
gets done.
do use it for planning and for feedback. So the constructive part is key. Specifically, if there's things that you want to see at the lodge that we're not offering, I don't know you want it if you don't tell me. So please tell me what kind of things you want to have here that we don't have, and then we do our best to try and source things and find them for you.
Veterans Day next Thursday.
We're going to have a slideshow. I think I've had around 15 members submit photos of themselves in service. So I'm going to be putting together a slideshow that will be showing on this TV throughout the day on Veterans Day. So there's a couple more days if you have photos of yourself or a partner that you want to submit, maybe a child. I'm happy to put those in there. And of course, thank you to everyone who has served.
First Saturday of the month, so we have prize drawing for November, which is exciting. Paul is getting the last bit of details on that done. I don't think there's a slide for me to talk, so I'm just going to talk anyways. That's always the fun part. Maintenance update. We did get the heaters fixed out front, so Robert got that done. That's huge. We got the lights fixed on the stairs back here, which is really nice. We did have some issues with the pool. Yesterday morning, we had there was a valve on the pump that was just kind of worn out and tired, so the water was leaking or really leaking into a downpipe, and so we got that fixed and replaced. We were really only down on the pool for 2 hours or something like that, but we just kind of closed it for most of it just in case. But that worked out really well. And then what else has Robert done? He's been busy all week. So yeah, like I said, we got the window fixed in Mantle, which is nice. Oh, we installed a electrical box in the front entry to the Mantle over there, which sounds not really exciting to talk about, but it is really good because we were running power out through a door that in theory a cord could get exposed and really burn down the facility. So it was nice that he was able to just go with me, stay with me on pace there. We don't need to circle back to that. So we were able to get that done, and then we got a new TV for Hudson's as well because they used to have the lines through it. So yeah, Robert and the maintenance team been really busy. So yes, yeah, we had a fan. One of the condenser fans had crapped out, so we had to replace that on Monday morning. Unfortunately, we lost about $6,000 to $7,000 worth of food on Sunday night. So if you came in for dinner, appreciate you adjusting to the limited menu on Sunday night. But yeah, that was huh?
Did some good grocery shopping.
It was quite an experience when we came in Sunday morning. To then it was inventory day, and we were having a really good month, and then it just kind of really ruined it. But yeah, I mean, for safety's sake, we threw away everything that's in a refrigerator that's 12 feet by 25 feet, and we threw away all the food that was in there. That's a lot of food. So really unfortunate. Glad the team was able to come in early on Wednesday to prep and have it all ready to go for happy hour on Wednesday. So we also did a team meeting on Monday, so it's really good to have the staff come in on Monday and work on some new training techniques and talk about kind of the lodge and as a whole, which was really good. Focused on some of the Blue Star principles that we talk about. So we usually do that every month. We've been kind of a little crazy for September and October, so we got a little away from it. So it was good to have the team back on site to do that, which was good. So, and then hiring, because we always like to talk about hiring. Hiring's been continues to be tough this week. Some people like stats here. We had 23 interviews scheduled this week, and only 4 people showed up this week. So this it is what it is. So, but we're still kind of working on it. But what? But we do have, we are hiring a food and beverage manager. So not quite finalized yet, but expected to have an announcement next week. But we have put out and are working with a candidate for a food and beverage manager who will help out in the restaurant. So that's be really exciting. So should be building a pretty solid management team, especially with Catherine on board, Trina on board, this new food and beverage manager. It's going to be really good. We just need to find hourly employees. Yes.
Side note, what number are you at with full staff, and what is the number of people you have now?
Really good question. So we typically have about little over 50 to run the entire facility. Pre-pandemic, we had hit 51. So we like to be in the 50 to 55 range to really run the facility the way we want to run it. And currently we're at about 28, 29. Yeah. So it's pretty tough. So and for those that come every week, you understand we have anywhere from 25 to 40 interviews every week. We usually have less than, usually single digits actually show up for those interviews. So yeah, it's been pretty tough. We've got, and just to kind of keep everyone in the loop, I know that was a big question in the survey. You know, we are offering a $500 sign-on bonus. We offer a $250 90-day bonus. No one here makes less than $15 an hour. That's our starting wage here at the club. So we've got some really good things going on and are in a really good position, but it's just we're a little bit outside of Tacoma area. It's a far drive for those that live in that area, and you know, just kind of with Bonnie Lake in general, there's not a ton of businesses. There's not a ton of people that are looking for work as well. So it continues to be a struggle. It's always been a struggle since I've been here. For the 6 years that I've been here, we've always challenged with hiring, but never to this extreme. And as everyone sees in the news, it is really tough to hire right now. Everybody's shorthanded. We've got, I was just reading an article, Starbucks are reducing their hours of operations, and there's businesses closed on Mondays now, and they're not open as late or not opening as early, and there's all these things. So we're not unique to that. We've done and made the adjustments that we need to make. But yeah, it's a real issue right now.
Jason, could you explain how the service charge is distributed amongst the house? And the
Yep, great question. So about the service charge, we do charge. We do put a service charge on all takeout that we offer right now, and all banquets or events or member events, activities that you participate in that involve food and beverage. And all that is 100% paid out to the team, to the hourly team. Yeah, club doesn't keep any of that money. So it's 100% paid out to those that work those events or those that participate with takeout. On average, and what we tell our applicants is our server assistants make $3 to $6 an hour in tips. So at $15 an hour, they're in the $18 to $21 an hour range, and that's consistently over 6 years. It's about $3 to $6 an hour, and then our servers make anywhere from 8 to 8's like a really slow leak, like we had a couple weeks ago with takeout only. But usually it's between $10 to $13 an hour in tips and service charges. So our servers make $25 to $28 an hour, somewhere around there. So I know a lot of people on the survey are like, just pay more, but they are getting $25 to $28 an hour consistently throughout the 52 weeks, throughout 6 years of that. So it is good money. It's just, and it's broadcasted on all of our advertising for jobs is those dollar numbers on there. So we are confident that that's what we offer. But once again, it's a competitive market right now. We've had offers out to people, to servers and such, and you know, they'll take jobs that are closer to the home or even offer more money on top of that. So it's tricky right now. So, but it's something we're looking at. I just did a market analysis with all the other private clubs in the Washington state. And so we're still compiling all that data, but to see where they are, where the other clubs are. Seattle has a little bit higher starting rates. But they also started at $15 an hour because minimum wage is higher in Seattle. So, but it is interesting to see the private clubs and kind of where they are and where we are with that we're right in the middle of the pack there at first glance. So, but those are the things that we're constantly evaluating, constantly looking at, watching the other restaurants in the area, see what they're doing and stuff like that to try and be competitive. But yeah, that's kind of the breakdown to the service charge. 100% paid out. We don't keep any of that. So definitely.
Want to do our prize drawing?
Yeah, unless there's any other questions. Yes.
I have a kind of important one.
Sure.
I don't have many allergies at all, but I do have serious shellfish allergies.
Yep.
And twice I've run into shellfish is the only option. When I look at the dinners and such coming up, it says to be determined.
Yep.
And I'm not seeing an alternative to that.
Yep.
For me, I can't eat.
So, yeah.
So what I was going to say is with things like wine dinners, because we do have some members who can't have gluten or don't eat pork for whatever reason, you can always email the contact on there as well, and we can see if we can provide an alternative for you. We always try to accommodate the best we can. And when we plan our menus for large events like New Year's Eve, we are I have an allergy myself, so I try to be very mindful when planning menus with the team to try and make sure that we have something that's a vegetarian option, something that's not shellfish.
My advice is always, if you want to come to the event and think that the event's going to be fun, but you do have dietary restrictions or whatever, allergies or whatever it is, just let us know. We'll accommodate it. So Chef's really good about coming up with stuff. We have a lot of members that have, religious beliefs and need to eat certain foods, or their doctors has requested certain diets, low sodium diets, whatever, or members that are allergic to certain foods. They still want to participate. Chef's really good about just creating a dish. So yeah, if you want to participate in an event, still sign up for it and then just say, hey, I'm coming to this. Would really like to, I'm shellfish allergy and obviously can't have shellfish, so we'll accommodate it. So as best as we can.
Any other questions? Awesome. Oh, Rob.
I'll still wait to say about it now. If you haven't seen the email from the services committee, came out yesterday, but we all support the Wine Lake Food Bank, and they're one of the 10 finalists for a $50,000 prize.
Whoa.
And it depends on people voting in what has the best. So we have to the 14th, there's a link. Maybe you guys can somehow have it. I know it's an outside thing, but still. And so if we vote and the food bank is some votes, I'll get that $50,000 prize.
Where do people go to vote?
I'll go ahead and send you the forward you email from the services, and then you guys can do it. So it's just
because you can always post that as a bulletin on MTL as well, which is that would probably be your best option, is to post it as a bulletin, because then you can post that with the link and then members see it on MTL.
Okay. I'll forward it to you and
Awesome, thank you.
One other quick question concerning the craft fair coming up.
Mhm.
Why is it only running till 1 instead of 3 this year? It seems like such a short.
I followed the parameters that were there from 2019. You're the second or third person who's pointed that out, so I'm not sure where my disconnect was, because last year it was 10 to 1, or 2019 it was 10 to 1, so I just followed that. But I've heard that from several people, so for the following year, we'll expand it.
We can't do that this year, though.
I can, it just means if the vendors can stay that long, because at this point they think it's done at 1.
I think the amount of work that the vendors put into it, they'd be thrilled to have that extra 2 hours.
Yeah, I can definitely bring that up, for sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, because I know Jack's coming.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, we can definitely review that and see what we can do. I'll also say, Mary, too, with your shellfish allergy, we also keep notes on things like that in our system. And so Elise is going to update that on your account as well. So we make sure that when you do come to the restaurant, we have notes that say shellfish allergy. And so we'll confirm that with you as well. So, all right, let's draw. Let's give some stuff away. What are we giving away today?
So we have a little Thanksgiving-themed host package with some cute Thanksgiving cocktail napkins, a cute little pumpkin glass, and some Lindor truffles. And then feel free to take a gourd from our gourd display if you would like one, because it's basically a cornucopia at the concierge desk right now. So,
or expect that they'll be on your cars when you come next week.
yeah.
We're just giving them away. So
I'm just going to stand out in front of the lodge and just, you get a gourd, and you get a gourd. And channel my inner Oprah. Catherine, would you like to draw a name?
Yes.
Out of my really professional bowl?
Yes.
And?
Yep.
Oh, does the one on the floor count as
I don't know.
special or not?
That one. Okay. Mary. Mary! Congratulations, Mary.
Thank you.
Perfect. And then, any other questions or topics out there that we need to discuss or talk about, or? Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
being brand new.
Yes.
See, I'm I'm into hiking.
Okay,
And
good.
I go to hiking club and
Yep.
just like, I show my interest and keep showing the same page. I have no idea what's going on related to hiking in the community because that's as far as I know how to get.
Yeah, so good questions. So for the member-led clubs, the hiking club kind of takes a hiatus during the late fall, winter months. I know that there is a snowshoe trip being planned through the hiking club. But so how it works is you mark interested, and then Ginger, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, do you get a notification when you've marked that you're interested when something posts and it's related to it?
Yes.
Perfect. So, yeah, so you haven't gotten one because we haven't posted any clubs recently. But what you will do is if you've marked interested, when I post the clubs or the events, you'll get a notification email, thank you, Ginger,
Okay.
because I flag it and I tag it to that club. So you should get a notification that, hey, a hiking club has been posted, and then it will send you a link, and then you can click on it.
And Mary, you can go into your profile, just make sure all of your contact information is correct, and then I think you can put your interests in there as well.
And it'll also show up in the events page for under the calendar. If you click my events, it'll show up there as all the hiking events.
And we posted tweets that's in the hiking club leads. I think we got some suggestions for like when we're making in there. What we were doing.
When we were doing it, yeah, that's it. But now they're taking a break there. And there are plenty of people who hike all the time, so once people know that, they'll be.
And we are looking at another employee that may come out that's going to be recreational focused as well. Winter recreational focused too. So should have some fun stuff hopefully in the next week or two, or at least ideas.
I mentioned Fawn's 11 o'clock walk.
Yep, Fawn's got her 11 o'clock walk today.
11:15.
11:15 after her class. That she gathers right here and they go walk the neighborhood as well. Perfect. Any other questions? All right, everyone. Thank you all very much.